D1 strike.
Cade, why do you think they crashed their ship into the dreadnought? Those are extreme tactics for the Cabal.
The Vanguard intercepted a signal, a message from the Cabal from way outside the solar system. A direct order to crash the ship, use it as a beachhead, and take out the king. Now that's loyalty.
I have tracking on the Bond brothers. They're the ones leading the assault on the power core. Marking the coordinates now.
Hell.
I remember when this game, when D2 first came out, I used to be like, what did they even do to the graphics? Because it seems like they just copied and pasted it, and when you go back and play it, you realize they hooked the graphics up a lot.
It's like, man, it used to look like this?
Yeah, this is kind of really basic, and the game has a lot more detail now. I'm not talking about the characters are pretty much the same. I mean, like the environments and everything. Enemies.
Yeah, without a doubt, this is gonna be my new favorite weapon.
What is?
The axe. It's a really slow moving weapon, but it, you know, like how from Monster Hunter, how the charge blade worked? It essentially works like that, where you have to get damage off on the monster. Oh, damn. Oh, but you have to use the R1 ability to gain more power to your weapon to start doing more and more damage. The problem with this is that you'll leave yourself without a weapon for a short amount of time. And when you get to mastery level 8, which I just got to, you unlock this new version of the R1 ability that's called the Grim Assault, which is you basically throw your axe into fucking Narnia. That's the best way how I can describe it. Because if you throw it and it doesn't hit the monster, unlike the other original one where it'll come back always, this one doesn't hit, it won't come back towards you. So it'll just keep going off in that direction until it hits something. Which is kinda cool.
That tank was a present from the brothers. We need to find them. Let's check the bridge.
I heard Ikora say once that the Cabal
Getting
have 6
smarter.
words for advance and none for retreat. I'm really not one for fancy speeches, so when you find them, shoot them.
I think unlike most people, I'm capable of being like objective when looking at this game. Like I really like it, obviously, but if you think that Destiny 2 is a worse game than this, there is something really wrong. Like you got nostalgia goggles on hard.
Like, yo, I need glasses, but I think you need them a little bit better than me, bud.
Wherever the brothers are, they aren't here. Let's keep moving.
This game was definitely good, obviously, but it's not. They know what they're doing a lot more now than they did then. Sitting over here trying to put down rifts.
Oh. There we go. That's better.
I just completed a bounty I've had in my inventory for like 2 years, 3 years.
Damn.
If the brothers don't know their commander is dead, this attack could be some kind of bargaining chip. That's the power of the Brotherhood bond, Guardian. Kind of reminds me of me and Zavala. Less
I
yelling.
definitely think if somebody wants to get into playing Destiny, they should definitely play this first.
Absolutely. So they get a, like, you know, at least an idea of how the story is.
Yeah, if you watch that video that I posted the other day, yesterday, the complete story of Destiny
is a
broken
lot
down,
of Cabal explosives hooked up
lot
to the
of
Dreadnought core.
good, like, very complicated stuff made very simple. Dope.
It's hooked up to each structural weakness on the core.
Oh, the brothers are here! Take them out!
I know that there's been like some stuff that's been kind of not like misinformed, but just stuff that hasn't been like fully explained, either because of story or just because of it hasn't come up yet. Like there's like little things that are like throughout the EDZ that I can't remember what the picture of it was, but it was something that like looked like the symbol for Rasputin, but it also showed on the inside of it where it looked like something of a hive rune. So some people speculated about, oh, you know, that means Rasputin's going to be something with the hive, and I was like, I don't know about that. It might have been just left there. You know, they just kind of forgot about it there.
Well, that's what that story thing does. Like, this whole time I've been trying to figure out what are they trying to say, like what is Riven doing, you know what I mean? Because she wanted you to kill her, but why? And that thing does a really good job of explaining why.
Isn't it because it's part of not Dueling Car, but Oryx's sister's plan to basically take over the Awoken homeworld? Oh, the Awoken factory thing?
Yeah, her sister has a lot to do with it.
I know, like, part of the whole thing of killing River is, like, you know, basically to keep the Dreaming City in a forever sense of chaos. Since the same things will keep happening over and over and over and over again. I know I'm ready for more lore about the ships. I need to know. I need to know what their deal is. I want to know everything about them. Or something to tie me over to Destiny 3.
Ship? Oh, the triangle ship?
Yeah. Like, I know there's some information about them, but I need to know, like, more. Like, you know, maybe schematics, information, maybe about the species that we're fighting that are on the ships. To be fair, they could not be a species. They could be just basically mist monsters that basically take over suits of armor.
Find out soon.
And then Drifter over here with his whole big scam. And we don't know what he's got planned yet either. And then there's Zavala.
They're finished.
I mostly keep doing this Vanguard thing for the perks and bragging rights, but I guess it's nice to keep the system from exploding too.
I think whatever's coming in September will deal with the triangle and shit things. Whether that's D3, I highly doubt. Because it might be, but I don't think they had enough time to do that yet. I think it's just going to be another big Forsaken type expansion. Actually don't even think they need to make a D3, but that's just me. They just keep adding on to this game,
Funny story for you.
which they should have
Remember
done
that
with the first one too,
Centurion Oryx
most
took right
likely.
after you landed on the Dreadnought? Then the Centurion and the Taken Ogre tried to stop you from killing the king.
Because for a loot game to start over is
So the
both
Centurion's
a
bond
good
brothers
and
are
a
pretty
bad thing.
angry they
Good
lost
in the
their
sense that
commander.
you
They're leading a team to blow
can
the
do
Dreadnought's core.
stuff that's
Core
new.
goes,
Because
most
if
of the
you
system
remember
goes with
in
it.
Destiny 1,
You're gonna make sure that doesn't happen.
like, you could feel that the game was like held together with duct tape at the end, you know what I mean? Because it was like lots of little bugs and weird stuff was happening.
Yeah.
But and starting over with Destiny 2, let them take all the stuff that people complained about and fix it, which I think they realized after that is not really what people wanted. Why? It's the same shit. This might be the same strike.
Why do you think they crashed their ship into the Dreadnought? Those are extreme tactics for the Cabal.
I have to leave this.
The Vanguard intercepted a signal, a message from the Cabal from way outside the solar system.
But
A direct order to crash the ship.
so being that they're really good at adding shit to this game, if they can do it without making a Destiny 3, I think they should. Cause how much did it cost for Forsaken plus the annual pass? It's like 40 plus 30, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. So $70 a year, I think, is fair for, you know, that much Destiny content. You know what I mean? So, or a $10 a month subscription, or whatever they want to do. Whatever it is, I'll pay it, so it doesn't really matter. Because I've definitely gotten way more than $70 worth out of this game. I mean, all total in Destiny 1, I paid, let's see, maybe $200. You know what I mean? And I played way more than $200 worth.
Remember Omnigal? Hive General with a lovely voice? She's back.
Vanguard scouts report she's undone her death.
Undone her death? You make it sound like she pulled
They
her
put
knee.
this next expansion out
Eris will
next
tell you
week,
not to make
and
light
then
of
they're gonna
this.
start letting
why
it
she's
be
not
known
here.
what they got planned
There's
in
no
the
telling
future
what
and
else
how
might
much it'll
follow
cost
that.
and all that.
Destroy Omnigal.
A lot of people are
and
gonna
any
complain
lingering
and leave.
threats.
But as soon as they see them trailers, a whole bunch of new people are gonna show up.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, I'm done with Destiny.
If Omnigal can come back to life, how do we make sure she stays dead? I wonder if the Hive think that about us.
To the Hive, death is relative. We'll face on the
I mean,
many
I don't think I
times
could
as it
ever be
takes.
truly done with Destiny. I can get annoyed with it, where I just have to like put it down for a little bit.
I've never even been annoyed with it. It's been my favorite game since it started.
Be ready for anything.
Alright, okay then. Stop with the freaking stun locking me. Freaking hell. I don't know. The only times I think I've ever gotten annoyed is where it's like a bug or like it's a glitch of something.
Like an exploit people are doing?
No, not like well, some exploits get on my nerves.
Like the,
It's like,
infinite,
time boosting for,
no.
0 hour.
No, like the infinite, what do you call that shit? Hunter tethers that they had for a while. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
And they go into in like PvP and shoot 1,000,000 tethers all over the place. But even that doesn't annoy me. I mean, it's a huge game. I mean, people, their literal job, those people that run those like exploit YouTube channels, their literal job is to poke holes in the game until they find something that they can exploit. So, what you gonna do against that? Really, they're testing the game and breaking it for you. That's something you would pay a lot of money for if you was a game developer. Somebody's doing that shit for free. Well, they're doing it for themselves.
Give them the advantage.
It amazes me how many games come out to try to beat Destiny, and everybody's like, oh, it's gonna kill Destiny, blah blah blah. It doesn't even, it never even come close. No, it's not just Anthem. Borderlands, you know how many people I've tried to convince to play Borderlands and they're just like, it's so boring. Like, I can get what they're saying, but as a shooter, like as a looter shooter, if you don't find that like kind of comedy funny, that game is really boring. It's not as engaging as this one, mostly because it doesn't have that much cooperative. It's like a single player game that you can just play with other people if you want to. This game though is completely cooperative. You need other people to do it. And Borderlands doesn't have PvP.
Well, I mean, you can challenge people to duels.
That's not PvP.
I know at one point they thought about having a PvP like arena mode. SMG. Standing gem. Yeah, get angry, big boy. There we go. Got the tail off. Ooh.
So even if they do make the best game of all time with Destiny 3 and everybody's like, oh my god, it's the greatest, and about 2 months after it comes out, people gonna be complaining about, oh my god, I didn't get this, RNG that, and you know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter to me. Like, they just, hopefully they just make the best game that they can, you know what I mean? And then stop listening so much to the people. The people will tell you when something's wrong, but their ideas for how to fix it are usually batshit crazy. You know what I mean? Like they're like, I would want hand cannons to have no bloom and no flinch all the time. But yeah, they did that in Destiny 1, and guess what? Nobody liked it, because you can't fight against weapons that have fucking scout rifle range, perfect in-air accurate, you know what I mean? The list of shit that you could do with a hand cannon and a sniper was way too good. And now that they're balanced, like every other weapon, they're crying about it. No. If you want perfect accuracy when you shoot, use a scout rifle. If you don't want bloom, use a scout rifle. Otherwise, if you don't mind a little bloom because you can pace shots and you have the advantage of being able to shoot accurately when you're jumping around, use a hand cannon.
Back for a reason, and it's not just a yell, though she does seem fond of that. Finish her before it's too late.
Yeah. As much as I like rag on hunters, oh no, I rag on hunters a lot. I really do. Yeah, not as much as you do. God, I don't think anyone's to your level. But I have noticed, like what you were talking about before, where everyone thinks that if they're gonna be good at PvP, they think that they need a hunter with like stompies or this, that, or another. I'm like,
because they see other good players doing it and they think that's what they have to do. Just like when you see people that are like, what is that gun that just killed me? I have to use that. The gun you got is fine. You're the one that sucks. Changing the gun that you're using isn't gonna make a difference. You know what I mean? You're still gonna suck. You're just gonna suck with a different gun.
It's like you know that gun you just changed you to compete with that guy? Yeah, he's gonna beat you with that gun. Again.
I like using the guns that nobody else uses. It's proved, but who does it really prove to? Nobody. And the people that really need to listen to that, they don't listen. They're still out there. I need a Lunas. I need blah blah blah. I haven't used I was the first one to get it, and I haven't used it in like 6 months. It's just it's boring to use. And plus, I think there's better options. If you're gonna fight, like if everybody in the Crucible has a Lunas, and you want to fight against it, you don't fight it by using a Lunas. You fight it by using something that's good at fighting a Lunas, which are pulse rifles.
Yeah, pulse rifles definitely. Which I actually find it kind of weird. I haven't seen that many outbreaks in the Crucible.
You know how it is with Destiny and high level content. Most people don't actually do the high level content. That's been a fact since this game been out. There's still only like 20% of people have actually ever done a raid. That's a huge number of people that have only played a little piece of the game.
Yeah. But I do agree with you on going to the Crucible with like off-meta stuff. It's really fun.
That meta shit going. Just like the meta. The funny thing is the meta for hunters is like everybody thinks you gotta be a hunter to be good. That's like the almost highest level people, but the highest level players from what I've seen are Stormcallers, which once you go down and rank a little bit, you don't see all that often. You see more hunters, plain hunters.
I know I haven't seen that many Stormcallers, but the few that I have that are like really good, it's kind of scary. Because some of them will always have, like, you know, instead have mods to always have the rift going. Now with the Escape Artist, they're trying to use Grenadier more, so they have that basically highly aggressive Arc Soul beaming down on any opponent that they come across.
There are no further traces of Hive energy.
Well, if she comes back, so will we. Look at us. Omnigle's neutralized and Eris didn't have to lift a finger.
Like take for example the Dawnblade stuff, right? When I remember when D2 first came out, I was like, why would they make this? Because, you know, self-res was fine, but self-res was, all it did was just increase your cooldown, you know what I mean, for a little while. So, I mean, it's not that effective at being offensive, you know what I'm saying? So they gave it an option to be offensive. So what I think a better way to do it would have been like what they did with Defender. So they made it offensive by making it Captain America, but they still had one of the subclasses be able to put down a bubble. So making one of the subclasses be able to self-res would be good, but maybe, I think at some point they figured that self-res is overpowered. I guess I can see that. You know, it used to make, you know, at least one or two people in your group having self-res up meant that it's really hard for you to fail stuff. You know what I mean? Probably the best win that we ever got in Trials for a flawless on the last game, like the deciding match where whoever wins this one round wins the flawless ticket and the other person got to start over, was against 3 self-res warlocks, and at the end they all self-res one after the other. And if they had self-res at the same time, they would have won. But because they did it one, then after he died, then the next one, then after he died, then the next one, they lost. Lots of fun. I think I still have that one saved somewhere. I have to go look. That same thing happened to me in Trials in this game. In D2, where I popped a bubble on a countdown point and 4 people came at me with supers, one at a time. I beat the shit out of them. One dude came in with an arc staff, then a dude with a Stormcaller, then like a Hammer Titan. It was crazy. But when you put your shield down inside of your bubble, they take so much damage that it only takes one hit to kill them.
I'm tracking reports of fallen splicers spotted in and around the Hellmouth. Intel suggests they're hunting ogres. Get down there. Make sure they don't snatch up any more fodder for their twisted experiments.
The Hellmouth. Been here forever.
No time for sightseeing, you two. Hit the summoning pits before the devil splicers can grab any more abominations for their priests to play around with.
By play around, you mean torture, vivisect, and disembowel?
Well, yeah. But when you put it that way, I almost feel bad for the Hive.
So why the Hive? Seems like a dangerous fight to pick.
The splicers are plain God.
view SIVA as a means to reshape life how they see fit. The Hive are just victims of the Splicers' willingness to push their curiosity.
Sorry about that. I left myself on mute and I forgot to turn it back on. But when you said the Hellmouth, yeah, the Hellmouth was dope.
You remember how they had that going back to the Cosmodrome mission? I hope they do that. Other missions. In D1, they had a lot of missions where you go back to old areas, like go back to an area in the old raid or something.
Yeah, which was dope.
Yeah, I hope they do more of that.
I kind of hope they do that for D2 and we go back to the Rivens area in Last Wish.
I'm on it.
That'd be cool.
Splicers heading our way.
Or like that one mission for the No Time to Explain where you gotta go to the vault.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. Oh, that got yeeted into Narnia. Shit.
The lock's fighting me, like everything else the Hive made. Hold on.
I do want them to add in more exotic quest steps, or like more exotic quests. Because I feel like that was the thing that was really missing out in D2.
Talking about, there's a whole lot more exotic quests in D2 than there are in D1.
Just one more room to crack.
Well, I mean, like more involved ones, I should say.
Such as... Cousin.
Like Bad Juju.
Those 6 quests that you got from randomly turning in bounties, you know how much complaining they got from that? Oh, I can't get Bad Juju, I do bounties every day and 87 years have gone by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to get that pretty early, but I think people should just, like, there should be like a fucking disclaimer at the beginning, like, if you don't understand how RNG works, or you don't like RNG, do not play this game. This game is RNG, the game. You may get every weapon in this game, you may not. Tough titties.
You'd think I'd be used to that by now. I'm not.
Damn it. Get the fuck off me, you stupid ass bugs.
Everywhere.
Fuck it. No, that's so dumb. You should not have the hitbox the size of a fucking freight train. Well, that's shitty. Ooh. Okay, I guess it can now hit through things. Alright, cool.
Hey, what's up, man?
We're going to have to find another way.
I don't care if you have to hitch a ride on a tomb ship, Guardian. I need you in those summoning pits.
Okay, we're doing this. We're really doing this?
What you up to, man? You're up pretty early.
Get ready to abandon ship.
Single death shot is in the chat.
I'm getting no SIVA readings.
What's up?
You beat
Splicer to the punch, but don't let up. Kill that ogre to
With
ensure they
his
don't get the chance to
tropical
claim their
fruit
prize.
Skittles looking logo.
Damn it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm just doing these D1 strikes for nostalgia, discussing the finer points of why D2 is better than D1. But I think any real Destiny player already knows that.
Oh, alright then. I swear to get shit.
Wow.
I ain't talking about you, I'm talking about this stupid freaking bug.
It's fucking, there was heavy ammo and I walked over to it and it disappeared. Wow. Thanks, Bungie.
Oh. Let me attack, let me attack, let me attack.
I saw this post on there on Reddit today talking about how hunters miss having a blink. I was like, bro, that should have never had blink in the first place. They took it away. Before they give hunters blink, they should give all three of the warlocks blink. That would make more sense.
Oh no. Oh no 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 no.
And there's one less abomination we have to worry about. Good work.
Mother. Ah. Oh. Alright, that's that hit me through.
You what, mate?
Goddamn health.
I keep wanting to pull up the map in this game. Guess what? There's no map. Alright, I'm gonna do one PvP match before I get up out of here.
What the? Alright. As I yeet my axe into frickin' Narnia. Oh, that's good to know. If I accidentally throw it off the map, it'll come back into a random spot on the map. Just have to go out and fucking find it.
Choose the strangest thing. Be careful.
Like, one thing that I did love about D1, and it's like near the end, was the fact that there was so much stuff to do. There were so many strikes. There were so many Crucible maps. There was stuff to do.
Yeah, but
Even when people got bored.
that's because that game was out for 3 years. That's 3 years worth of stuff.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm gonna be. Like, I want to see what happens near, like, the end life of Destiny 2, and whatever their next project's going to be, whenever that's going to be. But I want to see all the stuff there's going to be in D2 when it comes to where there's going to be no more content.
Yeah, that's why I think it's probably better if they don't make a D3.
Because they can use this time to basically put together, like, hey, this is what's going to work, this is what's not going to work.
So Single says he didn't really care for Blink. Okay, I feel you on that, because Warlocks, Hunters don't deserve. They didn't need to have Blink. They already have a highly controllable jump. And he says that he'd want a game with better netcode.
Same.
This game's netcode is great, but the stuff that they decided it could be better in the sense that keep people from manipulating it. But I think the game runs fine. This game's been up for 5 years and has barely ever gone down. In 5 years, with millions of people playing it, that netcode is fine. Shit, my internet at my house goes down more than this game does.
Yo.
Yellow.
What's up?
Hey. Yeah, and I can't type for shit. I can't type. But
Yeah, Bones of AO. Is it?
Bones of AO is the one that I do like. I just had the extra jump.
Stompies basically do the same thing. Because most of the people
it just gives it more momentum boost. It doesn't give it an extra jump. I just prefer an extra jump over a momentum boost.
Most of the people, at least in PvP, that used Bones, used it with better control jumps, so they only had 3 jumps anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was only a very few people that used it to get a 4th jump.
Yeah. I prefer to over for 4 jumps just for the fun of it. Just because how funny it is to watch, Cause heck, I forget what one of the things that people used to use back then. I don't even pay attention that much. But one thing I would say, Edwin, about that, what I did hear about you, they're just gonna add like another Age of Triumph into Destiny 2. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do something like that. They're just gonna rehash everything over again like they did with Destiny 1. So.
Did you play Destiny 1?
Mm-hmm. Age of Triumph, when they just revamped all the raids to be just 390s and then added like strikes to have like the boxes there. I like the free-to-play aspects it did have in that game, but some of it was not too great, I would say.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it won't be as bad as I think it is.
Well, one thing, right now there isn't content because we pretty much already played through the whole time, so that's one thing. If you think about people that's just now getting on, like I would say Fox, she has like a whole bunch of shit to do because she never played during year 1.
Yeah, I think I asked her about that the last time I played with her. I was like, how long have you been playing? She's like, oh, I've been playing recently. I'm like, oh my goodness, you have a lot
of people who play this game,
Same goes for Greed. I think Greed also is.
when you ask them like, have they did this, have they did that, they're always like, yeah, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. So you can't really say there isn't anything to do. They just didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Like I think 2-3 days ago, I hope Fox got a Whisper, and I think she already got the Outbreak brand. But
you know how many
again,
people I talked to that were like last season was all about the forges, right? So you could, they gave you the opportunity. They gave you like 7 really good weapons, and you could go forge them as many times as you want to get the exact roll that you want. You know how many times most people did it? Once. They did it one time, got the weapon, it's got trash rolls with like aerosol on it, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm fine. That is not what they intended. If that's what you want to do, and then call it, well, I don't have anything to do, that's on you. But all throughout that whole thing, I was forging these shit out of guns, because I want the perfect shit. You know what I mean?
Bro, I've gotten like 40 blast runners until I got the 3 rolls I wanted on it.
There you go. When, when a gun comes out that I want in this game, I go get it with the exact roll that I want on it. So I don't sit around and be like, I'm bored and I have nothing to do. When I saw the mind benders, you know what I mean? I was like, I want this exact roll. So I found the.
You know what's funny? You have literally the exact same roll as I do too, by the way. The mind benders. But yeah, no. The one thing, I like the mind benders. I just hate that strike. I just really hate that nightfall.
It is a very long strike.
Now when I did
Especially now since you can't do the glitch, you can't do that.
When I did it, I just put on some music and just killed that boss like 80 times until I got the right one.
For me, I did it until I got the curated, but I got the actual roll I wanted.
The curated one is ass.
2 months ago. Yep. I just want to have every created weapon in the vault, just to have it there and just sit there.
I was going to, but then I realized I would rather have the cores, so I break them shits down. I just get the one that I want and then masterwork that. Just like, yeah.
Yeah.
This is some dope ass fucking armor.
I need to get back into MMO, but the only MMOs games I've been playing is on PC. I don't think on PlayStation.
Well, you can play on PC on Dauntless, and I can play with you on my PlayStation.
Does that I have to pay for it though? How much does it cost?
$3.99.
$3.99. Is it a free game?
It's technically free for like console because we don't have to really worry about much. I think the only reason why y'all have to pay on PC is because of the store, and I think that's it.
Yeah, probably that's it.
I'm gonna be laughing. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna happen when Borderlands 3 comes out, right? It's gonna sell a bajillion copies on the first few weeks. It's gonna be #1 on Twitch for about 2 weeks. And about 2 months after it comes out, nobody is gonna play that thing. Maybe like 1% of the people will just keep playing it because that's just what they do. They want to do everything in the game. But the games like that, I swear to God, every time a game like that comes out, it's big for about 2 months and then it's gone. Whereas something like Destiny has been big for 5 years. That's not going away. It's not gonna get killed by Borderlands 3 or whatever. You know what I mean? You can get that shit out your mind.
To me, I don't feel like watching too much like things into Borderlands because they haven't said that much into things. The only thing that's gonna be around is what, just gonna be the looter like perspective solo play. Well, technically you can play with friends, but still.
Yeah, people who want to do Borderlands at level 8,000 and speed run. You know what I'm saying? And try to do crazy stuff. But to me, killing AI is dumb because they don't learn, they don't do anything. I play Crucible more. Exactly.
Yeah.
If you want to impress me with some of your skills, I want to see you do that in the Crucible, not against. Like seeing people speedrun raids is cool. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but Would I do that? Fuck no. No.
Yeah. To me, I just can't do raids over and over again because I'm pretty much doing like the same thing over and over again. It's the same encounter back and forth.
I don't mind
that's one of the
doing
reasons
the
why I
raids
despise it.
until I get all the weapons with the rolls that I want, and then after that, I don't do them anymore. I like doing them. You know what I'm saying? I like the challenge and learning it and doing it with a bunch of people. I like teaching them, but at the point when I get the good weapons, I'm done. Don't ask me to teach you. No, do you want to come do this raid for fun? No, I do not. No.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
lucky
okay,
enough
I'm
to
gonna
get
be-
the Chattering Bone pulse rifle in like my first run of Last Wish with the exact roll that I would have wanted, and that gun became my main gun in D2. You know what I mean? I haven't used that gun regularly in like 6 months. And it still has 20,000 kills on it. It has way more kills than any other gun that I've had in this game. So that should tell you, like, when you're lucky enough to get a raid gun with the greatest roll on it, you're like, you're good to go. Whereas if you do a raid and you just get any gun, like, you know how people do when they're like, oh, well, yeah, I have that gun already, I'm done. That gun has an ass roll. I don't care.
This one person. This person had quick draw and air assault on the on the trench, the shotgun and fucking ass. I was like, yeah, get that disgusting shit out of here. I was just like,
and
no.
they'd be like, yeah, I'm done. I'm good. I already got the gun. No, you literally got ass. You got cheeks, and you're like, I'm done.
I know Ark used it to get the 500 kills in the Forge and get flagged. No, he did that because he didn't get that gun right. I'm still figuring out who was that dude because there was someone in the clan that we did a raid with and he had the shittiest rollers. But nah, I can see that. Some people want the gun, but they don't want to grind. I can see some raid guns because you have to do it 3 every week. That's not too bad compared to like, I don't know. Like, what was it?
Just 10 seconds to go.
Why is there a free-to-play game called Don't Fight Me? I'm confused.
If people think that the PvP in this game is better than the PvP in D2, they have lost their mind. Seriously, they need to come back and play this thing. There's nothing wrong with it, but D2 is just way more refined than this. This is like I keep getting the feeling that I'm playing a game made by like kindergartners. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like when I play D2, I'm like some grown man shit right
here. For me, every time I look at some games, I mainly look at like the very first one as a prototype compared to the second.
Right. That's
like,
exactly how this feels.
To the new one. Yeah. That's how every Call of Duty used to be to me. Then they fucked it up. Call of Duty is not that good at all. The past multiplayers.
From the short time I played Black Ops 4, as soon as I found out that I could cheese every match with a single-dary LMG, I was like, nah, I'm done.
Yeah, that Titan got nerfed though. But that Titan
No, not the Titan. It was the Hades.
Oh, the Hades isn't too bad though. It can be good sometimes. If you're playing like hardcore, is broken.
No, I was playing in regular, and with the attachments, I can't remember everything I had onto it. But basically, if I peeked a corner and you came around the corner, it didn't matter if you had a Spitfire with the wildfire perk. I would rip you to shreds before you killed me.
Yeah, no. They did nerf her a little bit, if I remember. Because one thing that Call of Duty actually does compared to Destiny is actually retune your guns more.
Yeah, because they don't want people climbing up in the their tier brackets too quickly, because you know, gotta keep those people in place.
I would rather them do it
despise-
right the first time and not retool it every 2 seconds than have to keep doing it over and over again. So I'm fine with it the way it is.
Well, I will say this, like, when it first started, it was really interesting because everybody was trying to figure out the weapons and everything and unlock them all. When people have unlocked them all, that's when you find the people who know which weapons are freaking busted. Not the weapons that are the best, but the weapons that are straight up busted. Meaning, like, they are so stupid.
Any LMGs and competitive, you're pretty much using the Maddox every time. Because you can't use armor in competitive, so that's one of the things in that game.
Cause what was it? What was the first sniper rifle that they nerfed? It was actually the first one you get, the Paladin, because there was a bug on PC that basically made it had perfect hipfire aim because of 2 attachments.
Double stability mods on it.
And it was so stupid, the fact that you could no-scope someone, just not even aimed at them, just ding, headshot.
Yeah, but you gotta remember one thing. It was only on PC, not on console. Remember, Call of Duty is a console-based game. They just ported over to PC. They don't give a shit about it on PC. And that's why there's barely any updates over there compared to console.
Which is funny to me.
They just port over shit. The only thing that's necessary on PC is playing custom zombies. But then again, that's just if you play zombies a lot and you like it. But compared to that, the multiplayer is honestly trash, and PC games always most of the time for Call of Duty. Because for Call of Duty is where the only decent PC games out there for Call of Duty was BO3, kind of. But besides that, there's really nothing else for PC that was even decent. I think Black Ops 4 has some tuning because there's Blackout on PC that's better than console is. Cause every battle royale is better over there. But then again, I want to spawn in with my weapons instead of finding 13 hours for a pistol and die.
Yeah, it especially sucks like where you think you landed first, but somebody already beat you there, looted the 5 houses below you, and you're like, the fuck?
Hence why I despise battle royales. I like to spawn in with my weapons, and this is why I play COD or Crucible.
Apex is I love Apex mainly because it's made by Respawn, the people who made
You're learning. Come back stronger.
Titanfall.
Yeah, but
I did like Titanfall. It was alright.
I actually recently played a little bit of Titanfall 2 the other day. Man, I went into a lobby with people using nothing but EPGs and it was glorious.
Oh my god.
So, why? I don't know why, like, the dude sent me a message saying, like, you know, we've all did a gentleman's agreement all using EPGs, and I was like, I'm cool, I'm down with that. Arcweb got me.
Damn.
I didn't know he threw a grenade. He threw that joker way above my head. So where are they going? Eh? One shot.
Oh, it ended. Oh no, it didn't. I mean, trolled. I'm confused. How long is double XP lasting over here in COD? I'm so confused.
The one thing that I will say is definitely not even like debatable. That's better in D1 is the armor.
It's up to you now.
I still wish there wasn't collision in Destiny 2 because that's the one. I always hate a teammate sliding behind me, pushing me out of cover when I had a perfect shot, and then I get headshot immediately because they push me out of cover. Case, God, why are you just?
I don't mind collision. It's just depending on like the certain game I play. Destiny, I don't mind collision on it due to because anyways you're like there's not really doorways in the game to where you can get blocked by your teammates anyways, and then you can't really get like trapped in a corner like trolled wise in the game anyways. To me in that game, it's not really necessary for collision either.
I guess the one type of collision that I don't like is when I'm jumping in the air and the teammate just barely, like their forehead touches the bottom of my toes, and then immediately I just die.
Like die because you got shot, or just die because of randomness?
Like I die because of just stupidity.
That's just the game.
Whoa.
That's just what Divergent says, get good.
Well, no, like, if I roll, like, say I jump in the air, I'm trying to get away from an enemy. I would have gotten away from it if my teammate did not, like, bump the bottom of my freaking toe.
That and if you think about it, remember, the game's netcode is not as good, so you're pretty much gonna get shot behind a wall no matter what. So
yeah, that is sad.
People with bad internet does way better than people with good internet in that game, honestly. Compared to like, what's it?
I'm the exception.
This is match point. Bring your game.
Yeah, that game. The only thing I want is just a stable working game. That's the only thing I care for. I don't really care about everything else. Like, I don't mind the updation, all that crap to like the consoles or the updating. Sandbox changes are nice to change up to get the meta in the game and don't stay stale. But and also like DLCs and everything. But to me, I'd rather have a working game than having 300 DLCs or like different things in the game, which is one of the reasons why Black Ops 4's multiplayer was complete ass, because they just added too much shit into that supply drops which did not need.
Bitches ass.